Welcome back to our prison series. This is episode 58. Now would be a good time to like the video and to subscribe. And if you have not seen the rest of my prison series, we have talked about a range of topics. And today we're going to talk about 25 of the best prison movies of all time. Doesn't that sound nice? Where if you're doing nothing and it's a lovely Sunday, then maybe you could go pop on a nice prison movie. Okay, so you can know how great your life is in comparison. Okay, so I guess it's been over 25 years since the release of the Shawshank Redemption. It's a prison escape film based on the 1982 Stephen King. Okay, so I guess it was one that was with Rita Hayworth in the Shawshank Redemption. It's arguably one of the best movies ever made. The film is undoubtedly it's synonymous with the prison genre, but it's not the only flick about life in there, To celebrate more, I guess we'll be talking about the other movies. So there's a movie called Brute Force from 1947. A 1947 film noir about life behind the bars of Westgate Prison. Brute Force stars Burt Lancaster and Hugh Croonan and Charles Bickford, Yvette DeCarlos, and Anne Blyth. Who are these people? It's from the 1940s. Directed by Jules Dassin and written by Richard Brooks. I don't know why they think we need to know that. Okay, so they said that the movie centers around the brutal realities of the American prison systems in the 1940s, yet is still relevant some 70 years later. The next movie on the list is Bird of Alcatraz from 1962. Although the 1962 prison film Bird of Alcatraz is largely fictionalized, the protagonist, Robert Stroud, was actually a real person, as the biopic shows. Stroud, Burt Lancaster, yet again was convicted murder, who spent much of his life in solitary confinement in Kansas, Leavenworth Prison, as well as the Alcatraz. So in addition to becoming a bird owner and expert to pass the time, the once rebellious Stroud also becomes a trusted inmate during his life sentences, eventually finding a bit of fame after his biography about his life in prison. Isn't that interesting for someone to get fame just for going to prison? They're giving you fame because you did bad stuff. They're promoting people to do bad stuff, right? So, I guess that film, they're trying to say, earned 4 Academy Award nominations. Next on the list is The Great Escape. I would like to see that one. That is from the year 1963. So they said Steve McQueen leads a star-studded cast that also includes James Gardner, Richard, I don't know some of these people again. So it says that this movie is a World War II prison escape film and is based on Paul Brickhill's 1950 nonfiction book of the same name. Although the film was partially fictionalized, the book is mostly a first-hand account of the actual mass escape of numerous British prisoners of war from the German POW camp in 1944. Okay, so they're just trying to say this movie earned praise from the critics and a nomination at both the Golden Globes and Oscars. So I guess it was pretty powerful at that time. So the next prison movie is called Cool Hand Luke. It's from 1967. So they said that Paul Newman had a long, distinguished film career, but his most iconic film might be the 1967 prison drama Cool Hand Luke. Newman portrayed the character Lucas like Luke Jackson, a respectable and likable inmate who can't seem to stay off the chain gang and out of prison, but not for a lack of trying. So they said that I guess his performance was something to see. And we are going to get into our next prison movie called Papillon is from 1973. Okay, so it's the story of two men repeated attempts to escape prison in French Ghana. I don't even know where this is. So although it's expensive to shoot, they said that the movie easily beat the budget, earning more than $53 million at the box office. Isn't that something else? So they said also the people received different nominations in the film. Okay, next on the list is called Longest Yard from 1974. I know we've all heard of that movie. So they said it was remade 3 times. So yes, no wonder we've heard of it. But they say you still can't knock the original. So I guess the original starred Burt Reynolds. The film centers on Paul Recking. So I guess they had a former NFL quarterback locked up after stealing a sports car who puts together a team of inmates to take on the prison guards in a game of football. So I guess it's going to be some sports mixed with prison. That might be one for you to check out. Okay, so next on the list at number 7 is Midnight Express from 1978. Okay, so in the 1970s, American college student Billy Hayes was arrested in Turkey for attempting to smuggle out 2 kilograms of something that starts with the H. So initially he was sentenced to 4 years. Hayes was later given a 30-year term, leading to numerous escape attempts from his Turkish prison. So they said Hayes' story was chronicled in 1977 book Midnight Express, which was adapted to film the following year by Oliver Stone. The movie, blah, 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 I guess they made rates in $35 million, so it got positive reviews. And then they said, through extensive and elaborate planning, 3 inmates slipped out of the Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary in 1962 and entered the chilly waters of the San Francisco Bay. Their bodies were never recovered, and many people believe that Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin subsequently became the only men to successfully escape from the island prison in 1979. Clint Eastwood, Fred Ward, and Jack portrayed the 3 inmates in the Don Siegel-directed Escape from Alcatraz. That's one I would like to see, which was praised for its action as well as its accurate portrayal of prison life. Yay! We're happy they successfully escaped, right? Okay, so next movie at number 9 is Brubaker, 1980s. Okay, so this, I guess it takes place in Arkansas. Wakefield State Prison, determined to clean up the corruption and abuse running rampant between its walls. However, the problems proved to run even deeper and darker than the ward could have ever imagined. Inspired by the 1967 Arkansas prison scandal, I guess, I think they should have gave more details on that movie. Okay, so next on the list at number 10 is called Stir Crazy from the 1980s. Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor star in Stir Crazy as a pair of Hollywood hopefuls who end up framed for a bank robbery and given a 125-year sentence. Of course, the 2 comedians still get into plenty of trouble behind bars in this 1980s Sidney Poitier directed comedy that grossed more than $100 million at the domestic box office, more than any other film directed by an African American at the time. Okay, next on the list is Bad Boys in 1983. So before, Alan Ruck and Ali Sheedy had their breakout roles in Ferris Bueller's Day Off and The Breakfast Club, respectively. They both debuted in Bad Boys. Okay, so I guess this is a prison movie. So that was before they got, their breakout role. Next on the list is called Kiss of the Spider Woman. So, I'm trying to see where they say it's a tale of revolution, love, betrayal in a Brazilian prison. Okay? So, I guess, might be one worth checking out. 1992 movie American Me. It's a depiction of Mexican mafia power grab in California's prison system in the 1950s and 60s. So I guess it's about a Los Angeles youth who starts a gang and ends up spending most of their life locked up. Sounds very sad to me. Next on the list is In the Name of the Father from 1993. In the Name of the Father tells the true story of Maguire, I don't know what they're saying here. Okay, about two overlapping groups of people who were falsely charged and imprisoned for the bombings of two Guildford, England pubs in 1974. And I guess the film received 7 Academy nominations. Next on the list is from 1994, The Shawshank Redemption. That must be the one to really check out because that's the one they were talking about in the beginning. So, not only is The Shawshank Redemption arguably the best prison movie, but it's also often discussed among the greatest films ever made. Directed by Frank Darabont and starring Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman, The Shawshank Redemption is based on a Stephen King short story that was penned 12 years prior. An imaginative and powerful narrative paired with strong performances by the cast led to near universal acclaim. Nearly $60 million at the box office and 7 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture and Best Supporting Actor Morgan Freeman. Next on the list is Dead Man Walking from 1995. That one I've heard of. Dead Man Walking earned 4 Academy Nomination Awards, including a Best Actress win for Susan Sarandon, a Best Actor nod for Sean Penn, and Best Director for Tim Robbins. The film about a remorseless death row inmate Penn also earned more than 80 million in perfect ratings from numerous critics, including Robert Ebert. Next on the list is called 12 Monkeys from 1995. Prison life is in no way the focus of the 1995 sci-fi film 12 Monkeys, but much of it takes place in an underground correctional facility. After all, James Cole, Bruce Willis, only takes part in the experimental time travel trips because he is incarcerated. And then they said Cole spends some time locked up in an insane assembly along Jeffrey Gomes, played by Brad Pitt, in an Academy Award nominated supporting role 12 Monkeys. Next on the list is Sleepers from 1996. Looks like they got a lot of stars in Sleepers. It's a tough film to watch as it involves the systematic abuse of 4 young boys by guards at a youth correctional facility. Not exactly prison, but we'll count it. Brad Pitt, Jason Patrick, Billy Crudup, and Ron Eldard play the adult versions of the boys who seek revenge on the guards, with Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, and Dustin Hoffman and Minnie Driver appearing in supporting roles. Sleepers made $165 million at the box office, received generally positive reviews, and John Williams nabbed an Oscar nod for his score. So next on our list is Con Air from 1997. That one's pretty popular. We've heard of Con Air. And it stars Nicolas Cage. So it says that it takes place in a prison set in a prison transport plane that counts and holds tragically low 55% rating. Yeah, I don't know why they thought we needed to know the movie got rated kind of low. So Con Air should be the first one you hand them, I guess, for checking it out, I guess. So I guess that's one for us to check out. American History X from 1998. It's another difficult film to watch. They said it doesn't primarily take place in prison, but the transformation of Derek Edward Norton while incarcerated is a pivotal point in the 1997 crime drama. So they said, it's one to check out because it portrays a former white supremacist and earned Best Actor Academy Award nomination. That one got an award. Isn't that funny? Okay, so the next movie on the list, this one I know about, The Green Mile. You know, it's from 1999, and yes, people, it's Stephen King has a knack for penning stories that take place in prison, as the moving 1999 fantasy film The Green Mile centers on the inmates and guards on death row at a Louisiana penitentiary. Tom Hanks, Michael Clark Duquesne, Sam Rockwell, James Cromwell, David Morse, Bonnie Hunt. Yeah, who are all these people? They all star in the Oscar-nominated film that earned nods for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor. And it's just saying everybody received recognition at the Golden Globes, but failed to win either, anything at the award show. Okay, so the next movie on the list is from 1999. It's called The Hurricane. Also, now would be a good time to like the video and to subscribe. And don't forget to check out the rest of the prison series and check out my death series, people. Okay, so the movie The Hurricane, it takes place in 1966. Boxer Reuben Carter was wrongfully convicted of a triple homicide, and his tale was immortalized in the 1975 song. Okay, so I guess they created a song too. So Denzel Washington, he plays in The Hurricane. It's a film that's directed by Norman Jewison. Okay. It says this film earned favorable reviews. This is one to check out, The Hurricane. It's got Denzel in it, so that one's one to check out. Okay, so let's see what else on the list. Okay. This one's called Animal Factory. Okay, it's from 2000. So it says this one takes place in San Quentin, set crime drama Animal Factory, but he actually had a much larger role in the film. Animal Factory was, he managed to compile a strong cast of, I don't even know, they didn't finish that. The prison escape film managed only $43,000 at the box office. It must not be worth us watching. Okay, next on the list is Bronson from 2008. Never seen Bronson, not surprising, as it made only $2.3 million at the box office. So it's saying that, yeah, it's based on a true story of Britain's most dangerous criminals, and the film was still praised by critics. So the last movie we will talk about is from 2009, and it's called I Love You, Phillips Morris. Okay, and it stars Jim Carrey. So he leaves his wife and kids and normal life behind, and he moves to Miami, lives a new life as a LGBT guy, and makes a living as a con artist. Oh no, people. He eventually ends up in jail and falls in love with an inmate named Philip Morris. Oh, this is sad. This is what Jim Carrey played. And then he spends the rest of the film trying to get Phillips out of jail and keep himself out as well. Although he barely made more than its budget, it was nevertheless praised by critics and audiences, with Carey's performance cited as one of the funny man's best roles. Yes, people, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about the 25 best prison movies of all time. And if you have a favorite prison movie or one from the list that I mentioned, and you want to talk about it, let's talk about it, people, in the comments below. Please like the video, please subscribe, and are you guys enjoying the prison series? I would like to know that, and if there's something else you want to touch on, let's do that, about this prison series. And if you want to watch a prison series movie together, we should do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. I was thinking the same thing. Maybe we can watch, let's see, which one from this list would we want to watch? The Great Escape, That could possibly. I want the one with the Alcatraz about the guys who escaped from Alcatraz. That's the one that we would probably enjoy watching that. You know, and then Stir Crazy from 1980s with Richard Pryor. We would want to see that. Let me see. The one with Denzel too. We do want to see that. That's for sure. The Shawshank Redemption. We want to see that because it stars Morgan Freeman. It looks like it's a really good movie. It made 60 million at the box office. We would like to see Dead Man Walking from 1995. That one has Sean Penn in it. Made 80 million at the box office. That's one to see. Sleepers. We want to see it because it has so many celebrities. Made 165 million at the box office. It's a 1996 film, but they said it is tough to watch, but we still would like to see it. Con Air. We want to see that one. We want to know why it didn't get good reviews, even though it had a major star, Nicolas Cage. You know, American History X. I don't know that we want to see that controversial movie. The Green Mile, we might enjoy watching that together. The Hurricane, like I said, with Denzel. We want to see it. It is a film from 1999. And yes, Denzel looks very young in this movie. We could even check out maybe a short clip of Animal Factory to see why this only made 43,000 at the box office. That's really sad. I guess we would watch a tiny clip of I Love You, Philip Morris, because it does have Jim Carrey in it, and we just want to see why it bombed. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I have for you. Please like the video, please subscribe, and don't forget to check out the rest of the Prison series. Bye.